Hey everyone, it's Crystal, and today I am going over the What the Heck Did I Read in May? Now this is actually a different kind of month for me, because this month I only read one digital book, and then the rest is a huge stack of paperbacks, so let me get them. Hold on one second. Goodness. And I'm back. Now, don't mind the chaos back here. We just bought some brand new bookcases that we're going to be putting up and completely rearranging everything, so it's a little chaotic back there right now. Don't mind it. I think I got some board games up there. I got a statue. I got a whole bunch of randomness going on, so don't mind the mess. But in no particular order, let's talk about the first book that I read. Actually, let's go over the one digital book that I read. It was The King's Deception by Steve Barry, and it was a really interesting book. It is one that goes under the suspense sort of religious propaganda, but not religious, so propaganda type of book. Thriller, maybe a little bit. It is based in England. One thing led to another, and basically the story gets crazy. It has to do with the Tudor fuzzies. I told you, I've been moving, lots of crazy stuff in the air. But it has to do with the Tudor legacy and Queen Elizabeth I. What do you know about the good queen? What do you know about the Virgin Queen? What do you know about the lady who changed the image of the monarchy forever? It's covered in this book. So, check it out. It's really awesome. Like I said, it's by Steve Barry. He does a lot of different books, but it was really fun and engaging, and just check it out. Okay, so the next book that I read this month happens to be Eat, Pray, Love. Now, this took me a very long time, admittedly, and I think the reason behind it wasn't that it was a boring book, but I think what happened was the journey that she goes through. This is my one nonfiction book that I read this month, but the journey that she goes through is something that I went through many, many years ago. So these realizations that she has, the self-discovery that she has, I've already gone through, so it wasn't connecting with me as much. I mean, it's a good book. I really like, especially for it being a nonfiction book, that it did draw me in, and her writing is interesting. I love hearing the stories, but I would have been more interested in hearing about the cultures instead of her self-discovery, which, like I said, I've already gone through a lot of those. But if you're looking to go through maybe a little bit of self-discovery of your own, this was a really good book, and I would definitely check it out. I loved how in this book, it's not chapters, but they go by those little prayer beads, and the prayer beads can be a page to a couple pages, and so if you're just looking for something in the interim to grab and read, it was just a really great offer. So check it out. The next book, not in order, is Katie McAllister's Unbearable Lightness of Dragons. This is a book in the middle of the series, I want to say, because she has like 3 different series. She has the Green Dragons, the Light Dragons, the Shadow Dragons, but this is one of the Light Dragon books, and it's been years since I've read her, and so getting back into that world was super fun, and you get to see the political dynamics between all the different dragons, and I'm not going to go too much into it just because it is in the middle of a series, and I don't want to give away, spoilers. So, good book, check it out. I love Katie McAllister. She's a fabulous writer for a number of different types of series. So check the next highly anticipated book that I read this month was Dorothy Must Die. Now, this book, when I said that I picked it up, so many people got in touch with me going, Crystal, I can't wait to hear what you said. I can't wait to hear what you think. I bought this for my cousin, or I picked it up, or I loved it. What do you think? What do you think? I honestly had a hard time getting my head wrapped around Oz being rewritten, unlike Wonderland, which seems to have rewrites all the time, origination stories all the time. So it did take a little bit of getting into, but it's completely after the story that we know, and they do harken back to that original story. They don't rewrite it, but they follow what happened after Dorothy came home. And then you find out that she came back because she liked the power and she liked the control and she liked the magic. So what happens with someone who loves power and who loves magic? Gets into their head a little bit. And that's what happens here. The main girl in this story, her name is, it was a generic name, so I wasn't sure, unlike some of the others where, you know, you read young adult books and they have very unique names. Her name's Amy, but she lives in a trailer park and in the middle of Kansas, and a storm comes and brought to Oz, and so she is basically trying to figure out the world that's around her and how to fix it. So Dorothy Must Die, this is the first book in a series. I do plan on picking up the next one, which I believe, I know it's out, but I believe is, yeah, The Wicked Will Rise. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Another book that I read, Magnus Chase by Rick Riordan. This is his book about the Norse deities and the Norse pantheon. So it is the first one in the series, and it's a really interesting book. Now, just kind of like Percy Jackson, it talks about the young kid not knowing, then all of a sudden discovering that he is part deity. But the thing is they kill him off right away. So what you're dealing with is actually his afterlife. And it's because the Norse have a different view of the afterlife. It's a really interesting read. It helps you know a little bit more about Norse mythology and the pantheon. It's just a really good introduction, and I really enjoyed it. Super action-packed. It's a pretty chunky book, and I was able to get through it very quickly. So I mean, it was very engaging. I'd say mid-grade to young adult. Check it out if you're looking for something a little bit more action. Okay, so the last 3 books that I read, and like I said, this is in no particular order, but I'm lumping them together because they're part of the same series, and this is a series that I did a talk on live on Facebook, which of course you know is still recorded, so if you're interested, check it out at Digital and Vellum on Facebook. It is about 40 plus minutes of me and one of my BFFs just ranting about how much we love this series. And I bet you can guess it. It is the Selection series. So, I read Elite. Last month I read Selection, so of course I had to pick up Elite, which led right after to 1, which led right after to Air. Now, these two still have to do with the story of America, Maxon, and Aspen. This is what happens once Maxon and America have a baby, and she's grown up, and eventually has to go through a selection. So, just really good writing. I have a whole, like I said, video on this, and it's a lot of ranting, lots of spoilers, but I love it. If you want me to do individual reviews, I'd be more than happy to do so on any of these books. Just let me know. I did just today finish the book that comes after this, which completes the daughter's story, but I'm not going to give it away because that is technically June. So, it is going to be on next month's What the Heck Did I Read? But for right now, I read these 3 bad boys and I loved them. Mwah! So anyways, that is What the Heck Did I Read for May. Comment below and let me know if you've read any of these books, if you loved them, if you want me to do any individual reviews of them, I'd love to do so. I'll keep you posted as far as what the heck I'm doing back here on this wall. And as always, just have a fabulous day. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.